and keen on boxing Flash and just delaying his advance. And that is one of the key things that we can see Zerg players do, that Savior at his peak did so effectively, planting his lurkers and his attacking units. And now Flash moving forward with the two-sided siege tanks. Very risky by Flash, exposing his siege tanks a little bit. Now the science vessel is out, but Flash is unable to push out. He does not yet have siege tech clearly, and one of the siege tanks goes down. This is very careless by Flash. He's going to lose both of his siege tanks. Both of his siege tanks go down. This is completely un-Flash-like behavior, and very great StarCraft by Luxury. He's got 3 lurkers burned out there. Flash obviously not having siege tech yet, and Flash is really being slowed down. Luxury preventing Flash from pushing out by having another, and the 2 supply depots positioned at that choke go down, and finally Flash has got another siege tank out. But Flash has already lost 2 siege tanks without dealing any damage to Luxury's forces, and Luxury is going to be able to use the wide open spaces on Andromeda to his advantage. He's just going to be able to maneuver around the map. Flash has got the 1 science vessel out. That's taken some damage as well. Luxury's now got a couple of Scourges out, and taking this science vessel down is really going to hurt Flash big time. Flash trying to make the push. Looks like he's making the push straight for Luxury's mid. I think he would be much better off trying to control the economics of the game by taking out that expansion, by scouting around for it and taking down that 3rd expansion, because if he can take that down, he'll be in a much stronger position. Queen's Nest meanwhile up for Luxury. He's got about 4 lurkers already, and another 4 morphing just outside his natural expo. He's got his hive up as well, so he's got a Nidus Canal going down. It's going to be very difficult now for Flash. Luxury has really pinned Flash down in his base, and Flash obviously trying to push out before he had siege tech, but Luxury brilliantly burrowing his lurkers in. And this is something that we don't see Zerg players do as often as they really should do to try and slow the opponent down, but really Flash has allowed Luxury to do that by giving him carte blanche. But Flash has got a dropship this time. He's going to drop at Luxury's natural expo. Luxury's ready and waiting. He's got a group of Zerglings in there, and it looks like either those Zerglings popped at a very fortuitous moment. And Luxury now using the Scourges with the Shield of the Mutalist to take down the dropship. He kills the dropship. I'm not sure if that dropship was loaded. I think it was. So Flash loses the dropship, but Flash has now set up siege on that natural expo just south of that cliff. And that is again the problem. If you don't put your sunken line down further out at the exit of that choke, you can leave yourself a little bit vulnerable. But looks like Luxury is deciding to counterattack Flash, realizing that he's taken those supply depots down. Flash does have somewhat of a defense there, but I don't think it's going to bother Luxury too much. Meanwhile, Luxury's got a large group of lurkers and Zerglings, and actually he might be just trying to pincer Flash's forces. He's not going for the counterattack, because we've seen players lose by going for that. Looks like Luxury's going to try and lure Flash into those lurkers, and that might be a very clever strategy. Now Luxury's going in. He's not actually going to do that. He's actually going to go in with his lurkers and his Zerglings and his Mutalist. He's going to try and take the science down. Flash manages to keep the science down, but Luxury's just got overwhelming weight of numbers here against Flash. He's just going to completely overwhelm Flash's forces, and Luxury didn't even lose most of his lurkers. He's still got a large group of lurkers alive from his attack group. He's got about 9 lurkers there I count, and now he's got that. He's also got that expansion. Flash looks like he's going out of the OSL. I cannot believe it. Comprehensive victory this is going to be for Luxury. Flash has just not been in this game. He hasn't played at all. Maybe if this was a best of 5, we might see a resurgence from Flash, but now he is dead and buried. He's gone. There's no hope for him in this game as far as I'm concerned. Luxury is in just too strong a position to throw it away now, and the unthinkable has happened. The unbeatable Flash is going to be destroyed, and he's going to be out of the OSL, and this is going to throw the group wide open. I think there are going to be a lot of players who are going to be celebrating, least of all Jelizerg and the Rock, and that matches, because if Jelizerg can get past the Rock, he's going to have, I think, a very good chance. Luxury, I believe, is doing a bigger favor to Jelizerg than to himself, because if Jelizerg can get past the Rock, and I have every faith that he will, he's going to be in prime position for the Golden Mouse. He's going to be, in my opinion, I'm going to predict this now, folks, Golden Mouse is going to be Jeliz at the end of this season. He's already beaten Luxury before in Zerg vs Zerg. He's got the micro to take him down. He's got the mechanics to take him down. And Flash really has played as a wraith in this game. He's played as an ethereal, ephemeral shadow of his former self. It's not Flash. It's like watching some really crap Terran like Justin play versus Luxury. It just hasn't been there, and one of his science vessels is now getting taken down, most of his force getting pincered in. Flash trying to take that expo down, the natural expo off the 7 o'clock base. He might be able to kill the hatchery, but Luxury's got lurkers and Zerglings coming in. Flash trying to defend by moving those Marines back out of the range of the lurkers, but he's just too many units. He's just going to get completely overwhelmed. Luxury has so many lurkers that he can just afford to run them up against the medic and marine group, and now those science vessels are going to get finished up, and this has to be the final straw. Obviously, because it's a best of 3, because this is a must-win game for Flash, he's not going to say GG just yet. In any other game, he probably might have, but it really is a hopeless situation. It was probably a hopeless situation 5 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago even, and really astounding play from Flash, and it just goes to show you that you cannot give your opponent, no matter how good your mechanics, how good your general gameplay. And I just wonder if it's Flash's inexperience showing through here. We've got to remember how young this kid is. He's not even legally able to download adult movies or view adult movies. That's how old he is. So considering that, I think it's probably just if you think back to yourself when you were that age, I think the kind of defeat he'd been rolling on a sea of confidence, gaining confidence from victory after victory after victory. He just was so accustomed to winning that when and you can just see the look on the faces of those Flash fans looks like they're just about to melt. But I think Flash just could not he was so shocked by that defeat against Luxury that he just could not cope, and he seems to have just come apart at the seams. He's just burst apart completely. Flash trying to maneuver his units around, trying to fight his way back in this game, but just the economic and unit and tech advantage that Luxury has is just so massive right now that just there's nothing at all that Flash can do. Luxury's now got Ultralis cameras up as well, and he should be delivering the finishing blow any time now. And Luxury building the Nidus Canal just outside of his choke as well. Flash trying to set up a siege on that natural expo off the 7 o'clock main, but Luxury has just got complete control of this game, and Flash has just been completely wiped out. He's continuing to try and fight, and another dropship gets picked off. And Luxury we haven't seen too many idle units sitting around from Luxury this time around. He seems to have played a much more effective, he seems to play a much more sharper game of StarCraft. I think he's also gained confidence from that victory, and maybe that's what he needs. But certainly I don't think anyone will be taking Luxury lightly anymore after the way that he's demolished Flash quite comprehensively in these 2 games of StarCraft. And this despite the fact that Luxury went for the spawning pool first early on, giving Flash the opportunity to get some sort of an economic advantage going. But Flash really seemed to do nothing. He didn't really commit himself to going all out macro economy, because if he'd done that, he might have been in a better position. He didn't really pressurize his opponent, which I feel was his cardinal sin on this occasion. He just didn't put any pressure on Luxury whatsoever. He put a little bit of pressure, forcing Luxury to put 3 Sunken down, but that was far too little, far too late. He allowed that third gas to go up completely uncontested. Very unflash-like play, I must say. And Luxury's now got another expansion down at the 9 o'clock position. Flash just trying to kill any expansion that he possibly can, trying to find some point of vulnerability. The fact that this is Andromeda is probably what's kept Flash alive in this game so far, because he has been able to sit behind his defense. It is almost suicide to try and crack that Terran's defense unless you can completely overwhelm it. So control is the name of the game, and that's why you tend to see, I think, longer games on Andromeda, except of course for rush games. And Flash looks like he might be able to actually take this expansion down. Actually, he's not going to be able to, because Luxury coming in with a group of 8 lurkers is just killing off Flash's Mechanic Marine group, and only 1 Marine survives out of range of those lurkers, and that's going to be picked off any second as well. So Flash has not killed a single, I think, hatchery of Luxuries in this game. He's not killed a single hatchery. I don't even know if he's killed a single Sunken. I think he killed those 2 creep colonies just there. But really, it's been quite a pathetic showing from Flash. It's been weak, and it's just been so unflash-like. It's been so unboxer-like even, and I don't think Boxer would be proud of his protege today, although Flash, obviously, being from a rival clan, isn't technically his protege. But I think Terran players and Terran fans were looking to Flash to take up that mantle of the dominating Terran player, which we haven't had for a long time. And you just have to wonder, we've seen other players who've been on dominating streaks like Savior and Bisu and Jaedong more recently. Is this going to be the beginning of the end for Flash? Is this going to be the first chink in his armor exposed to his opponents to give them a whiff that yes, this person is human, he's not a machine, he's not unbeatable? Is this going to be the first hint to his opponents that Flash can be taken down, and therefore should be taken down with any and all means necessary? So Luxury progressing through to the semi-finals, he's going to be full of confidence no matter who he comes up with, but I think it's important to remark that the other players are July and Protoss, so I think that's going to have a huge bearing on the outcome, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in the July versus Ro8 game, which I'm going to cover next. This is Klazart. What an amazing and shocking win for Luxury. It wasn't a finely balanced, edgy, seat of your pants, exploding things game of StarCraft. I had to, I'm afraid, curtail my speech there for fear of what I might say, but nevertheless, it was great StarCraft simply because the unexpected has happened, and as I've said before, StarCraft is the great leveler. This is Klazart. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that upset. I know Terran fans wouldn't, because there's now no Terran left in the OSL as far as I'm aware. Thanks for listening, guys. This is Klazart.